What if you were the only one who could see in a world of total darkness? This story leads you to the world.
All right, today we're jumping into a really fantastic story, one that poses a huge question. It's called The Country of the Blind. So get this, a mountaineer, a guy whose whole world is built on what he can see, takes a massive fall and ends up in this hidden valley. And here's the twist. Everyone in the village there is blind. He thinks, man, I'm gonna be king. But, well, it doesn't quite work out that way. He's forced to make this crazy choice between love and his most precious sense, his sight. Okay, so here's how we're going to walk through this incredible story. First, we'll cover a few key words you'll need to know. Then, we'll follow our guy through his big fall and what he discovers. After that, we'll get into why his plan to be king didn't work out. Then comes the really tough part, this impossible choice he has to make. And finally, we'll do a quick look back at the whole thing. All right, first things first, to really get a grip on what's happening in this story, we're going to quickly go over a few words that are pretty essential. They'll help us unlock the whole thing. First up is footing. You know, it's pretty straightforward. It's about having a solid, stable place to stand. And that is exactly what our main character, Nunez, loses. He's an experienced mountaineer, but one slip on a snowy slope, and that one moment is what kicks off this entire wild story. And that loss of footing leads right into our next word, tumble. We're not talking about just tripping over your feet here. This is a massive, uncontrollable fall, the kind of chaotic drop that literally throws him into a whole new world he never knew existed. So after this huge tumble, he wakes up and finds this village. And once he realizes everyone there is blind, he instantly feels superior. He's thinking, I can see, they can't, I'm obviously better, I'm more powerful. That's his immediate go-to. But he's in for a surprise. He quickly finds out that the villagers have this incredibly intimate knowledge of their world. I mean, it's a deep, personal understanding of every single path, every sound, every texture. Their reality is just as complex as his. It just doesn't need sight. And because of that intimate knowledge, they can navigate their world like masters. Seriously, they use their hearing, their sense of touch, their memory, and they move around with this confidence that just blows his mind. He can't figure it out. You'd think he'd start to get it, right? But nope. Even though his whole worldview is being challenged, Nunez just continues to cling to the idea of sight. He holds onto it so tightly, like it's the only thing that matters. He just can't wrap his head around another way of experiencing the world. And all this does is frustrate him. He gets so angry and upset because he just can't get them to understand what sight is. And every time he fails, he feels more and more powerless, more and more alone in this place. Now let's flip the script. From their point of view, all of Nunez's talk about seeing things is just a delusion. I mean, to them, when he talks about the sky, the sun, the stars, they think he's crazy. It's like he's describing a complete fantasy, something totally disconnected from the real world. Okay, so this huge conflict, it all builds up to the idea of sacrifice. He's basically put in a position where he might have to give up something incredibly valuable, something huge, just so he can be accepted, just so he can find love. And that leads us to our last word, dilemma. He's stuck in a terrible dilemma. It's that classic rock in a hard place situation, you know? He has to make a choice, but both options are just awful. There's no good answer here. All right, now that we've got those words down, let's really get into the story. We're starting at the very beginning with the fall and discovery, where Nunez literally falls into a world completely separate from our own. So it all kicks off with one wrong step. This guy, Nunez, an expert climber, loses his footing. He takes this terrifying tumble down a cliff, and when he finally comes to, he's battered and bruised and totally, completely alone in a valley that's completely cut off from the rest of the world. As he starts exploring this new place, he finds a village, but things are weird. The houses are painted in strange patterns. There are these low walls along all the paths. And then it hits him. The incredible, shocking realization. Every single person in this village is blind. And that discovery, that's what leads us to the real heart of the story. I like to call it a king in theory, because this is where the big battle begins. Sight versus all the other senses. So Nunez immediately thinks of that old saying, in the country of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. And he takes it to heart. He thinks, this is it. I'm the one-eyed man. I'm gonna be their ruler. But yeah, reality is about to give him a serious wake-up call. And this is what I find so fascinating. You've got these two completely different worlds colliding. For Nunez, reality is all visual. It's the mountains, the stars, all the colors. But for the villagers, their reality is built on sound, on touch, on smell, and their world is every bit as rich and detailed as his. It's just experienced in a totally different way. So naturally, Nunez tries to explain what he sees. He's talking about the sky, the sun, and the villagers, they just feel sorry for him. They think he's making it all up, that he's suffering from these wild delusions. It's during all this frustration that he meets a woman named Medina Sarot. He sees her as beautiful, but the other villagers don't, because she doesn't fit their standards. So, of course, he falls for the one person who's kind of an outcast, just like him. Okay, this all leads us to the climax of the story, the ultimate test. We're talking about an absolutely impossible choice here, a brutal conflict between love and sacrifice. So Nunez decides he wants to marry Medina, and the village elders, they actually say yes. But there's a catch, a terrifying one. They think the source of all his crazy ideas, his delusions, are those two strange moving things on his face. So they offer him a cure. He can be one of them. He can marry the woman he loves, if he lets them remove his eyes. And there it is, the big question. Love or sight? Think about it. He gets everything he wants. Community, a sense of belonging, the woman he loves. But the price is giving up the one thing that defines his entire existence. It's just, wow, what would you even do? So the morning of the surgery arrives, and just one thing, a simple sunrise, changes his entire perspective. He sees the breathtaking beauty of the world he was about to give up forever, and he realizes, no, he can't do it. His vision is too precious. It's part of who he is, and he decides to run. Okay, so let's take a step back and just quickly recap his whole journey. We can really break it down into three main parts. So here it is, the whole arc. First, you have the arrival, where this arrogant guy with sight walks into a world that doesn't understand it. Then you get the conflict, where his greatest gift is treated like a sickness, and he's forced to choose between his identity and love. And finally, the escape, where he reclaims his sight and chooses freedom over fitting in. And it really leaves you thinking, doesn't it? When the world tells you your greatest strength is a flaw, do you change yourself to be accepted, or do you fight for the world that only you can see?
Want to speak English better and boost your exam scores? Summary training makes it happen.